So the media is absolutely panicking over what's happening right now because a lot more people are waking up. I've been saying that this is a great awakening for which there's a lot of scripted aspects. And also it has to be highly exaggerated. And so a lot of news coming out with regards to Trump. And so I'm going to just do a quick flyby. There's a lot more polls and footage and so many people. If you see here recently, this is the lowest it's ever been. But the amount of trust that Americans have in mass media, right? Mainstream media, trending all the way back to 1972, it's the lowest it's ever been. 32% do not trust the media. And a record high of 39% do not trust the media at all. And so this is flipping, right? So it's allowing people to realize and recognize what's really happening. And same thing for other things. If you split Republican, Independent, and other information, if you go to Rasmussen polls, a lot of their posts of them surveying people clearly seeing an uptick of all kinds of approval for Trump and against Biden. Even recently with the Fani Willis last year, September, a majority, 56% of likely Georgia voters believe it is likely Trump is being unfairly prosecuted by Fani Willis, including 39% who say it's very likely. And so if you've been following that case, you know, and if you're awake, that a lot of this is just a witch hunt, as Trump likes to say. And even in different parts of the US, I believe this is coming from a rally, right? I'm just going to quickly show you some of the clips here. You have here Trump going through, and it's an absolute crazy pack. And this is all of his recent, rallies, right? You have tons of people here filling major stadiums. And then you got
anything else?
Biden. Look at Biden.
You realize that? The point is, we ask so much of you.
A very little amount of people in all these crowds. And people say, and if you look at comments, like 81 million, and they're telling us in the polls that they're almost even, right? So people are waking up to what's happening. And even recently, you have this whole crazy judge, right? This over 350 million required to pay. And of course, they're going to appeal. Of course, people are waking up to saying that there's injustice in all of this. And again, most people, they're now looking at everything that's happened in the last 6, 7, 8 years, all the way from the Mueller Steele dossier, all of that stuff, and saying the witch hunt and the injustice is very obvious. People now are not looking at a judge's verdict as being factual and completely, just. Oh yeah, he's in the wrong. Yeah, let's have him pay all these damages and bar him from doing business in New York for 3 years. All of this, people that are waking up are realizing, okay, there's clearly a concerted effort to shut this man down. And more people in the comment section, in social media, all the platforms, they're looking at what's happening and seeing this. And more attacks here on trying to take Trump off the ballot. Here, from my state here, Illinois, they're going to rule next week on whether to take him off or not from the Illinois presidential primary ballot. And so these kinds of attacks, it's getting very, very obvious, even though the courts ruled on it, Supreme Court, these guys, and you're seeing this play out, the concerted attack. Now, some other decent news with his social media, Trump's Truth Social Media merger deal being greenlit, and he's going to make a lot of money out of this. I think it's like $4 billion or something dollars, and he'll profit or have $1.3 billion in funds. But this just approved this past weekend, the DWAC merger with, or the SEC approving the merger between DWAC and former, well, not former, but the Trump Media and Technology Group, TMTG. So that's a huge advancement in basically this whole aspect of taking back control of media and social media, as well as just the airwaves, if you want to call it that from the spiritual perspective. And so a lot of this, guys, is evidence that the trend is moving towards the fact that there's support of Trump, there's also support of truth, there's an awakeness to the mass media lying to you, and most people reading between the lines saying that, okay, I see that it is not what it seems at face value. Most people are saying there's something more here, and more in all these surveys, everything from Gallup poll to Rasmussen reports, all of these people, whether you are extremely on the left side or not, They're moving people back towards the fact that, okay, we want to go back to the fundamental principle of a truth. And very quickly, I want to also mention there's all sorts of these kinds of things, but political leaning of misinformation experts. Why is it that during this whole 5, 6, 7 years that the media and the left, as well as the enemy, they were trying to control the narrative with this whole fact-checking thing, right? These guys, their political leaning is all left. And this is coming from a Harvard misinformation review surveying 150 misinformation experts. And so, again, the idea here is that people are understanding and waking up. 5, 6 years ago, a lot of people, they were kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And they're trying to, wrestle with being bombarded with information. But now you are waking up. Many of you have woken up from where you were even 4 years ago, right? During COVID. And even before that, a lot more people since, during the 90s, you've seen what's happened. And now you're at a point for which, okay, now I understand better how to discern people, information, not to give, credibility to somebody just because they're part of some fancy news network or they're part of some quote unquote prestigious, long-serving organization, right? So all these things are amounting to the fact that, okay, now I can see with spiritual eyes. For many of us as Christians, we're seeing it and we're waking up to it. So it's good in terms of its momentum leading up to this quote unquote 2024 election. But again, what have I said before? This whole thing is to wake people up. It's over-exaggerating. It's almost comical in a sense. But there's more than meets the eye, and it's being done for a reason. There's actors, there are people playing a role, there are black hats or seeming black hats that are actually white hats. They've turned, or they're acting like a mole in the organization, just like when you target some criminal organization, you're going to have plants going in there and acting like they're the bad guys, but they're doing this for a white hat reason. So this is what's happening. You're seeing more of these guys coming out, more stats, more data. And again, I'm not even going to go into what they lied about over the last 3 or 4 years. These congressional hearings about the medical stuff, all of this is coming out. The point is, it's a great awakening. The point is, it's accelerating, and people have had enough, and they want action, to take action. They want results from this. So you're going to get that. You're going to get justice. It's going to be a good time. But I want to give you guys this quick, encouraging update from the Trump perspective, as well as just all the political chaos that's happening right now. So I love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon. And also, please, I have like 10 more days left to meet my goal. I haven't gotten there or near that, but I need your support. It's the GoFundMe page in the link below. You can also give on Give, Send, Go. But guys, please, if you guys can help me, I'm trying to get and reach this. And I think just a few hundred of you guys, if you're able to give just a little bit, that would help tremendously. And I think we can get over the line with your support. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.